Hey guys, so today I'm going to do two quick reviews of books I've already read this month. They are Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delara and Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. The first one I'm going to talk about is Love Letters to the Dead. I am not a huge fan of full reviews that give up big plot points of the story. This one is going to be a little spoilery because I feel like the only way that I could really talk about this book is to give you guys a little bit of detail. It's a story of Laurel, and she's given the assignment of writing a letter to a dead person in her English class. And instead of turning it in, she continues to write letters to people who have died young. And she uses this in a way as a form of therapy. I mean, that's what I kind of took from the story. And it's kind of the way that she works out the issues that she has had or is continuing to have because of circumstances in her life. I don't want to give too much away about what she ends up overcoming and working through in the course of the story. But I will tell you, it took me quite a while to read this. I did not feel like I really connected all that well with the story, and I wasn't sure why. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I particularly loved the way that the author connected Laurel's life and experiences with the lives of the people she was writing to. That to me was wonderfully done, wonderfully written, and I really appreciated that. Now, what I did not love. I personally do not like to give negative reviews or negative feedbacks on books that I read just because it's just one girl's opinion. You know, everybody will feel differently. But I can tell you that I was genuinely miffed. That's a good word for it. I was miffed. The book here is actually blurbed by Stephen Chbosky, and it says, "I simply love this book. Love Letters to the Dead is more than a stunning debut. It is the announcement of a bold new literary voice." I'm going to tell you why this annoyed me. I felt like this book was incredibly similar to The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Similar to the point of distraction to me. I really love The Perks of Being a Wallflower, but I read it recently. Maybe if it hadn't been so fresh in my mind, I wouldn't have caught the similarities. But you know, in Perks of Being a Wallflower, it's Charlie's journal. In this case, it's letters to somebody that she's writing. And in Perks of Being a Wallflower, there's somebody that's no longer there, that's deceased, and he's working through that. It's, you know, similar in this situation. And there's this kind of overhanging mystery in the Perks of Being a Wallflower, which I don't want to get into. And it's very similar in this. I felt like so many of the plot points were similar. And that is very annoying to me, because I don't feel like the story was inspired by The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I felt almost like it was like completely taken from The Perks of Being a Wallflower, just in a female perspective with a few minor changes. So aside from that, it is well written. It's a nice story. It is a little sad, but overall, it was good. I was just really, once that whole Perks of Being a Wallflower comparison came into my head, it just really bothered me. Regardless, I think I gave it 4 stars, I think. Okay, onward. So next I have Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. This is just the dust jacket. I lent the book to my best friend when she was here the other day. I fully expected to enjoy this book. I have quite a few retellings of Beauty and the Beast already on my bookshelf, and I find that they are usually very, very true to the original story of Beauty and the Beast with a few minor twists. This was a completely different reading experience. I felt like I had no idea what was going to happen. I'm the kind of person that I never really am surprised by the endings of things. And when I watch television or read a book, I'm always pronouncing halfway through, this is the person that did this, or this is what's going to happen. And I think it's partly because I do read so much, so I've kind of learned to anticipate plot points and endings. And this book was just a breath of fresh air, because I had no freaking idea in the world what was going to happen. The other thing that I really enjoyed about this story was I kind of felt like it was a mixture of the Beauty and the Beast fairy tale and a bunch of mythology. So it just nitpicked from piles of different stories what the author thought was going to create a better tale for her. And it really worked. It was such a rich story. It was beautiful. I loved all the characters. I really recommend this book. I read this super fast, and as I said, I already lent it to my best friend because I just could not stop talking about it. I want to say I gave this 5 stars. 4.5 or 5 stars. But really, if you like fairy tale retellings, absolutely pick this up. Those are my 2 mini reviews for the first 2 books I read in April. I'm going to try to do this periodically to let you guys have a better idea of what I think of the stories that I'm reading and the graphic novels and whatnot. So let me know what you think about that. And also let me know if you read Love Letters to the Dead and Cruel Beauty and what you thought of them. I'm quite sure that many of you are going to disagree on my thoughts on Love Letters to the Dead because all I've heard so far is that people love them. But we can't all have the same opinions about everything, so it is what it is. Bye.